Hello everyone, and welcome to Dark 30 Outdoors. Thank you so much for watching my video. My channel is dedicated to bringing you outdoors related tips, techniques, and strategies. So if you like fishing or hunting or camping, kayaking, that sort of thing, then definitely hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. With that being said, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is deer hunters and how they're missing out on the best time of the year to be in the woods. Every year, just about every year, I'm out scouting. February and March. It's when the woods is going to tell you the most. You're going to see all the trails. You're going to see the rubs. You're going to even see the scrapes. You're going to be able to piece together things that really help you. You're gonna get a bigger picture, understanding of what's going on with the deer, why they're traveling the way they are. Better able to identify those specific ambush points. Man, February and March is where it's at, and especially public land hunters. Man, you have a vast canvas to study and understand. I don't know about you guys, but I hunt public land a lot, and there's a lot of times I'll be thinking about, man, there's that area over there. I really wonder what's going on up in there. Well, stop wondering. In February and March, strap up your bootlaces and get out there and cover some ground. This is the time to get in there and scout and really figure out what's going on. I know it's getting warm and a lot of you are thinking about fishing. Stop doing that. It's not greened up. The fishing isn't really hot and heavy. It hasn't exploded. Sure, some fish are being caught. You're not missing anything. Take a day, take 2 days, get out in the woods and scout. Now is the time. And I know a lot of you aren't doing it because I've been out there every year and I never see anyone. Never see anyone. I'm going to go a couple times this week. I'm not going to see anyone. There won't be anybody out there. I promise you. If it was October, there'd be cars parked there. If it was November, there'd be cars parked there. But nobody's out there scouting. February and March. There's a few guys that traipse around looking for shed antlers. I get that. There's private landowners that are putting their minerals out. They're checking their trail cameras. They're doing that. And I get that. But you know, us public land hunters, we got to get out there. We got to scout. Don't be afraid to put a trail camera out there on public land. I'm going to bring you some tips later in this video to show you how I do that. And it can be done, and if you're careful about it, you can go and get your camera back, and somebody else isn't going to take off with it. So stay tuned and enjoy some great deer scouting this spring. Okay, hello everyone. Here we are at a fine, open to the public hunting area. This is the parking area, and as you can see, there is no one. Maybe you can't see. This place is empty. There are no cars except for mine. No cars around here. It's the best time of the year to be out deer scouting. The woods is going to tell you more now than at any other time. There's nobody here. If it was October, there'd be 3, 4, 5 cars in this parking lot. If it was the first 2 weeks of November, there'd probably be 10 or 12. Yet nobody's out here. Why not? Check this out. Real nice trail leading up through this thicket. Right? Good heavy use trail. We like that. Right? We like that. Oh, looky there. That's torn up pretty well. This old signpost road right there. Very nice. Not sure if you can see it. There is a subtle little terrain change right here. So we're gonna follow this trail. This will catch a deer hunter's eye right here. Yeah, make no mistake. That was done by a mature buck right there. I mean, tore it up. Folks, that is not a small tree. That is a big tree, I mean, for reference. That's the tree behind me. As you can see, it is quite large. I mean, sorry for the glare there, but I mean, this thing is near as big as I am. Unbelievable rub right there. Okay, folks, take a look here. We got a scrape right there. Obviously it's gone gold. We're not in the rut. We can definitely tell there's a busted up overhanging branch right here. And then there's the scrape. Then if we pan right over here, same thing. Just right there. It's got prints in it. So obviously, there's a buck's area, right? Overhanging branch right there. And look here. Look right there. Not as obvious. There's a scrape right there too, with an overhanging branch. Pretty tight to this buck's core area. That's definitely something I'm looking for when I'm scouting in March. Okay, folks, welcome back on my scouting mission here today. There's a point right over here. It's a pinch point. It comes down through here. You can't really. If you look up through there, there's a slough where that creek's coming through. It's kind of where the creek split, and it just created this low spot where it's like a little water slough. It isn't always full of water, but it's springtime, so it's full of water right now. But I got some real good cross trails right here, so I'm gonna set up the trail camera right here. One really good tip for when you're setting up your trail camera, you want to have it facing north. Try to find some good east-west cross trails. Find some dips in the terrain. There is a little bit of a dip in the terrain, and I do have some good cross trails right here. But that'll prevent glare. You don't want if you have your camera facing the east in the morning, you're going to get glare. It'll wash out your pictures. If you have it facing west, you're going to have the same problem. And even if you face it south, you can have that same problem. But if you face it north, then odds are for most of the day, you're not going to have washed out pictures. And that's really critical. So let me turn this around. That's where I'm going to mount the camera. And I like to go up about 10 feet if I can, 9-10 feet if I can. So I'm going to mount it right up here. That's why I brought my, extend this out. That's why I brought my turkey seat. I use this as a stand so I can get a little bit higher up. And what that does is it gets this trail camera out of the line of sight of people. That way if any people are walking through here, because it is public land, then they're not going to see that trail camera. It's not going to be right in their line of sight. So odds of them making off with it are a little bit better. Plus, if it's, you know, real high up, then they can't easily reach it. So it's less likely they'll see it. And if they do see it, maybe since it's not a simple, easy grab, they leave it be. So I'll get right to it. Okay, there it is. Okay everyone, I'm back. Sorry that the video cut out there in the field. I guess the old iPhone got cold and it decided not to work anymore. And then when I got back to the truck and warmed it up, it had 60% battery power. So I don't know why it does that, but I'll be upgrading to an action camera very soon, so I won't have to deal with that issue. I just wanted to put a bow on the scouting video. I left it off as you could see that the trail camera up there in the tree and how well it blended in. In fact, as I was trying to get the camera to focus on it, I almost couldn't even see it in the viewfinder. Definitely disguised really well, and you may not have been able to see it very well in the camera, and it obviously wasn't focused on the camera for very long. But I stick a stick or a piece of bark up in against the tree at the top of it so that the camera is angled downward. It'll give it that downward look. Obviously not straight down at the ground, but you want to, when you put it up higher like that, you want to angle it down just a little bit so that it's going to catch that movement that's still about 45, 50, 55 feet off. I didn't today, but a lot of times I'll put something out that will attract the deer to come into that area. It'll be usually corn, sometimes minerals, but you definitely want to, that's a great way to take inventory of the deer. You know, nothing beats a little boot work, right? Just get out there and cover some ground, see what you can see, find those dips in the terrain, find those creek bottoms, high winds. Those are going to be super good areas to be in. Find those drainages. Those are your silent approach in the fall. Usually they're empty of water or have super little bit of water in. That's going to just mask your scent even better. So those are things to look for when you get out there and you're scouting. Obviously you're looking for tracks, well-used trails. You want to know where the does are coming in. They're coming in. You definitely want to look for those high travel areas because the bucks are going to be looking to ambush those does in those places. So when you're scouting, that's what you should be looking for. So a trail camera can help. Again, it's a great tool for inventory. Okay, so that's deer scouting in March. February and March, great time. The woods is going to tell you more than any other time. I don't see anyone out there. This isn't my first year. I've been hunting 24 years now and scouting nearly every year. Sometimes I don't have a new area. I'm relying on the same old areas. I know a lot of you have private land, and a lot of you private landowners are very active. You're doing the minerals. You're working your cameras. You're maybe identifying a better stand situation, but usually it's a finite amount of space that you're working with, and you know how you want to hunt it. You've developed your strategies over the course of a season or two. But public land hunters, man, I never see you out there. I know there are people that do looking for the shed antlers, but I don't even see very many of those people. When I'm out there in February and March, I'm the only person out there, and it's not just this year. It's like every year. It's the best time to be out there scouting. So definitely get out there, scout now. Do it now. Take a day, take 2 days, get out there and scout. You know, many of my public land hunters, you know there are areas, there are spots, there are locations you're like, I wonder about that. Now is the time. Go scout that. Don't wonder about it anymore. Don't think, oh, well, it might be. Or, oh, if I go traipsing in there in October, it'll be just fine. No, do your homework now. And don't do it in August when it's 85 degrees out. Do it now. Get it done. Go deer scout. All right. Catch you next time on Dark 30 Outdoors.